Hi everyone, this is Karen Whooleygan. Welcome to this week's Team Whooleygan live chat. You guys are so chatty right now in the chat room. I'm going to get over there in just a second, but I want to do my normal introduction. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button here on YouTube or on Facebook, depending on where you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, make sure to hit the subscribe and the like as well, so that you'll always be reminded when I go live. I also want to let you know you can learn more about me at KarenWhooley.com. The link's right here at the bottom of the screen. I'm still getting used to this camera, so it's right here at the bottom of the screen, KarenWhooley.com. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter, also down here at the bottom of the screen. If you subscribe, you immediately get a free pattern, and you will get 25% off all new releases, discounts on new books, and you'll be the first to know about new classes, which if you haven't heard already, I have 2 classes. One of them's coming up next week. Make sure you look at my class schedule while you're there. But my newsletter will also let you know about everything that is coming up. If you're watching this somewhere other than YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the link to get there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right below the video here. If you are watching on Facebook, or not watching on Facebook, I should say, you can follow me on Facebook. This is my Facebook page, and I'm also streaming live here as well simultaneously. Make sure you follow me there, and make sure when you're following me on any of these places that you engage in the conversations. I'm going to be asking questions a lot more often, so I'd love to hear your responses to different things. I am most active on Instagram, and you can follow me there at Karen Whooley. Make sure too that you follow me there, and when I ask questions, I'd really love to hear what your responses are. So make sure you engage with all of my posts there as well. Another place that I also stream these videos is Rumble, and Rumble does not allow me to live stream at the moment. But I upload these videos to Rumble. So if you're not a YouTube or Facebook user, you can always go to Rumble. And this is my link to my channel. I actually just uploaded a few new videos to Rumble yesterday. So if you're interested in watching some static videos that aren't live on how to do a couple different things, you can go to Rumble as well. And if you are not a member of Rumble, you can join for free using my affiliate link right down there below. It's free for you to use, but I get a little kickback that helps me keep my business going for every new person I bring to Rumble. And Rumble right now is inching up to match my YouTube subscribers. So I just want to let you know it's getting more popular over there. So make sure you check out Rumble. And I'm going to head over now to the chat where there is a bajillion comments. And I'm going to try to catch up here with all of you guys and see where you're at. Patricia's here, Pat. Good morning, Pat. Hope you're doing well and healing really, really well. And also Linda. And yay, Brad's here too. We're taking a break from laundry and floors. Yay, I'm so glad I can help you with a little break there. And Aunt Ida's here. Good morning. Let's see. Don't forget to smash that like button. Everybody, make sure you do that. And I know everybody's saying hello to people. Laura's here. Good morning, Laura. Glad to see you. Happy hump day. Hello. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Let's see. Yay, weight bearing. Pat, you're weight bearing. Good. Learning to walk. Are you in a boot now, or are you using a walker? You're using a walker, but I'm wondering, are you in a boot? Because that's what they did for me when I was going back to my ankle surgery, and I was able to put weight on it. So let's see. Laura says baby steps are forward progress. Laura, man, you guys are so friendly. Let's see, what else is going on in here? I'm trying not to put all the highs up there. So let's see. Let's see. We're tired. Yeah, Pat's just tired of sitting around. Hi, Dawn. Glad you're here. Mostly listening. Okay. And Laura, happy to say I'm back to normal after 2 weeks. Oh, Laura, I'm so sorry about the panic attacks. Those are no fun. I went through a series of those, so I can totally relate. I was getting them during the day. I was sleeping fine. It was during the day, but that was like 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm glad you're back to normal. Let's see, what else is here? Okay. Difficult to deal with. Yes, you've got this. You've got this, Laura. So I'm really glad you guys are all here. We're going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and get started with all the new things. First of all, you probably have noticed behind me, my first finished object I want to share needs blocking again. Even though I blocked the pieces before I seen them, after I do all the finishing, I need to block them again. You can kind of see here where some of the finishing needs to be stretched out, but my sweater is done. Yay! For those of you who have been following along, you've probably seen this already, but I'm going to make sure I put it up here again for you guys. The yarn I used is from the Fiber Seed, and that's the link to her website. The colorway is Succulent, and the base is her Sprout Sock. It's all finished. I'm letting the pattern sit for a little bit, and then I'll be sending it over to tech editing once I give it one more read through. Before I send it to tech editing, and then it'll go to photography and testers before I release the pattern. So this is probably the last time you'll see this sweater before it's released. So but I thought I would share it with you so you guys can see it. This is it's a finished 40-inch bust. It'll fit anyone from a 36 to a 40. I always make a little bit of ease in there. So I like to have 2 to 4 inches of ease. So you can see in the bust there's a little bit of ease in there. It's a 3/4 length sleeve. It's a cropped sweater, and it's got buttons. So it's a cardigan. So I just thought I'd share with you the final project, even though it isn't completely blocked yet. I literally sewed the buttons on last night. So I wanted to make sure you guys got to see it since you've been following along with me on that. Thanks, Aunt Ida. I'm glad you like it. I really like it too. I need to make one in my size. I'm a little bit bigger than a 40-inch bust, so I definitely need to do that. Another thing I finished, and you guys have been seeing these the last couple of weeks, and I probably will have one more next week. But I finished 2 more baby hats, and they're in the Seahawks colors again. These kind of are when I'm a little on the stress side, or I need to rethink something. Like when I was doing the buttonholes, I really needed to spend some time thinking about the math of where the buttons were going. And sometimes by knitting something or doing some other project and taking my mind off of what I'm working on will help me figure out the math for stuff. So these are kind of what I do. They're both Seahawks again, because I forgot to mention in the past that I had made a hat for my nephew that looked with the same yarn, and I overestimated how much yarn I needed. So I had 2 extra balls of this yarn. And so I'm making hats out of it to get rid of it. This is all I have left. I have enough for maybe one more hat. I'm not 100% sure it's going to complete the hat. So I need to order some more fixation because I am literally done with all of my fixations. So down here at the bottom is the link to where to find the fixation. So you got a couple more comments out there. I'm glad you like the sweater. I mean, everybody, it is a subtle colorway. It's succulent. Let me see if I can get a skein. I have one skein that's not wound yet. So this is the yarn I used on the sweater. So this is an extra skein that I didn't end up having to break into. So that'll probably be another project. Actually, I have an idea for it. So, but I like the subtle colors too. I wanted this to be like a changing of the seasons type of sweater, kind of a late summer, early fall, or a late winter, early spring type of sweater. So I wanted those subtle colors in there. And I thought Succulent is, the Succulent colors kind of fit both of those seasons. So that's one of the reasons why I use that color. The other is I just love succulents, and when that colorway came out, I can't even tell you how excited I was about that colorway. So that's why I'm kind of glad I still have I have that, and I have one. This is what's left of one of the other skeins. I had 4 skeins. This is what's left of skein number 3. So I'm hoping that I can make something with those 2. I have some ideas, so we'll be working on that. Okay, so what's next? I have a list here so I don't forget what I want to talk to you about. Okay, so what's new in the studio? I was actually hoping I was going to have more new stuff in the studio, but the U.S. Postal Service has been having some issues here, even with my daughter's mail. When we moved from our rental to the house, she lost 2 packages. They forwarded them and they sent them to Seattle, and they got lost in the bowels of the Postal Service in Seattle and never made it to our house. And those were ordered prior to January. So those disappeared. She's moving again in a couple weeks up to Spokane and sent in her change of address. It's supposed to be effective next weekend, and they've already started forwarding stuff to her new address. So it's been a mess. So I have a couple things that are out for delivery today that I was supposed to get Monday and Tuesday. So I only have one thing to show you that's new in the studio today. And this is a new to me dyer. It's Tippy Tree Yarns. And I got excited about this yarn because she was doing the yarn club, and her yarn club was based on the 80s. And if you didn't know, I basically grew up in the 80s. I was in high school. I'm a class of 1985 high school, graduated from college in 90. So basically my teen and adult years basically started in the 1980s. So I'm a huge, huge 80s fan. Everything's 80s. But if you know me really, really well, you know that my favorite band is Bon Jovi. I have been a fan since I was 16 years old. First song, Runaway, came out in 1983. That's the year I was 16. I was driving. I could still remember the first time I heard Runaway was in my car driving to school. On the radio, if you are a California person, you know KMEL, the Camel. That's the radio station I first heard them on. So Bon Jovi is my favorite out there, bar none. My license plate even says Jovi Mom on my car. My kids have told me that I can never get rid of those plates because they will torture me, because that is part of my identity. So if you didn't know that, I am a huge Bon Jovi fan, and no, John Bon Jovi is not my favorite. My favorite is David Bryan, who is the keyboard player. So when you think of Bon Jovi is actually a band. John Bon Jovi is the man. So if you say Bon Jovi, it means the band. If you want to talk about their lead singer and founder, it's John Bon Jovi. So that's just a little quirk I have. Most Bon Jovi fans will tell you that too. So just a little tip about Bon Jovi. But anyway, getting back to what's new in the studio, Tippy Tree Yarns is doing a yarn club. And the way she does hers is it's not one of the prepaids where you pay so much a year and you get all of the shipments. You can pick and choose which shipments you want. And her May shipment was based on Bon Jovi. So I got really excited. And it's actually a sock kit. And this is the sock kit. The large skein obviously is for the main body of the sock. And then the smaller skein is for the heels, the cuffs, and the toe. When I first saw it, I was trying to figure out why this would be Bon Jovi, but then I realized it is based on, I haven't talked to her, but to me, it reminds me of the Slippery When Wet album. If any of you guys know Bon Jovi at all, Slippery When Wet, the actual cover of it is the released cover was, water coming down the album cover. But the original that was supposed to be released, but their label actually pulled it, was a slippery when wet sign that you see on the road. And that's where this yellow, and there's a little bit of like black speckles in there and stuff that reminds me of that. So there is my Bon Jovi. I actually am going to make socks out of these because I really love this colorway, even though it's not my normal colors. This is kind of what I do, but I really like the yarn. It's a, let's see, fingering weight. The big skein is 100 grams, 463 yards. And then the mini is 20 grams, 92 yards. And it's superwash, 75% merino, 25% nylon. So it's perfect for socks. It's really soft. And I'm really excited to see how this is all going to knit up together. So these are going to be some pretty bright socks. I don't know if I'm going to bring it a little closer to the camera so you guys can see. Her website's there at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to take that off for now. I'm going to go back to the comments here really quick. You guys are still talking about my sweater. I'm so glad you guys like it, though. The sweater would also be great for those places that keep, yes. Yes, and one of the things I don't know if you noticed about the sweater is the sleeves are solid, and I did that on purpose. Well, there's two reasons, because the stitch pattern was going to take a ton of math, and I am sizing this to 9 sizes from extra small to 5X, so there's a size for everybody out there. But I'm one of those people whose arms always get cold too. And so for me, I'd rather have a solid sleeve than a lace sleeve on my sweaters. And you'll notice most of my sweaters are that way. So there you go. That's one of the things that I do. So those refrigerated buildings would be perfect for this. Okay, so let's see. What else do I have here? One of the things I want to let you know, because that actually was a great segue into this. I don't know if, I know I've mentioned this before to you guys, but I'm going to put this out there again, that I'm always looking for people to test my patterns. And I want to give this link to everyone out there. I know there was someone last week or a couple weeks ago, I can't remember which day, mentioned that they would be interested in testing for me on the live stream of this. So if you're interested in testing for me, that is the link. I use Yarn Pond to do my testing. You have to sign up but it's free. It's free for you. You can scroll through, you can test for me, you can test for a lot of different designers. There's a lot of crochet testing going on there. There's a lot of knitting testing going on there. And if you're a tech editor and watching this, they also have an area for tech editors. So you might want to check it out. Again, it's free to sign up, but that is my testing pond, I guess is the best way to say it. I'm losing my voice. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay, so our testing pond, testing pool. If you sign up and you go to that link, you can be added to my testing pool so that anytime I release a new test, you'll be notified. The way I work my tests, for those of you who've never tested me before, I only let you test for one pattern at a time. Like right now I'm running 2 tests simultaneously, and I have different testers for each one. And I do that on purpose because I want you to focus on the one you're working on. And it's really important to me that you really focus, you really understand the pattern. If you find a problem, you post it in the chat room that is for that test. And when you get on Yarn Pond, you'll see all these different things. I think Dawn is on here, and she's testing one of those patterns for me right now. And Dawn, if you have time, I know you're listening because you're working, but if you have time, if you just want to post a comment of what you think about Yarn Pond, they charge me a fee for every test, which for me, it's nominal. It's worth it for me to let them handle the platform part, because I have tried to do it on my own and it's just too crazy through email. I tried a different type of forum last year and I got hacked. So, I'd rather have something that's secure, that someone else is taking care of, and I don't mind paying $5 for a test for pattern. So, and when you test for me, the way I work my tests also is at the completion of the test, I usually try to give you 4 to 6 weeks. So every once in a while, I'll have something that needs to be done really quick, but most of the time it's 4 to 6 weeks. And at the end of the test, if you have completed the test and you have completed everything, including my feedback form at the end, you've sent me pictures or whatever on the forum, I will send you a coupon code for 1 free pattern on my site. When the pattern's released, you get a copy of that pattern for free. And in the case of one of my patterns coming up, I also will be able to give you a discount code on the yarn that I used. The yarn dyer has given me a coupon code so that you can use the same yarn I use, but you can pick your color. And I think I want to say it's either 15 or 20% off. I can't remember. But that's going to be coming up in a week or two. I just got it back from the tech editor. I have to go through it and make sure it's okay before I can even put it up for a test, because I always have my patterns tech edited and charted before I send it to send it to testing. So if you are interested, make sure you hit that. I just saw a whole bunch more comments come in. Let's see, Dawn. Let's see, a lot of our processing plants were severely impacted by COVID. I was delivering Christmas cards and, oh, wow, had been mailed in November, but were held up in processing. Oh my gosh. Okay. I forgot that you are a postal worker. You deliver, don't you? So I forgot about that. Yeah, it's been interesting. I feel really bad for you guys. I try not to be angry about it. I mean, I know that COVID has done a lot of things to a lot of people. So, but it's just, it's when you're waiting for something, you get so excited. And then, well, one of my packages that I'm getting today came from Austin, Texas. It left Austin, came from Georgetown, Texas. It got to Austin, left Austin, went back to Austin, sat in Austin for 3 days, and then yesterday it started moving, and then today it's out for delivery. But it was just really kind of odd how things are doing. Weird. Laura gives a new meaning to snail mail. I've received cards that have fallen from processing machines and mangled. Yes, I have too. Christmas cards especially. I know that time of year, I can't even imagine what the machines are doing. Okay, so, and Dawn loves Yarn Pond, guys. So Yarn Pond is really great. Can you give me something else besides I love Yarn Pond? Just, maybe an experience or just easy to use, or, what is it about Yarn Pond that you really like? But if you're interested, for those of you who are interested in testing for me, there's a lot of times too, you also, I forgot, this is another thing. On the pattern itself, I will list you as a tester. If you don't want me to put your full name, you have to let me know. Otherwise, I put your full name in there. I do know a lot of testers just want to test for certain designers. And I know a lot of designers will buy other people's patterns because they get a list of testers. And a lot of times, I know Ravelry, a lot of designers on Ravelry would link to their testers, but there's a lot of testers who just want to work for certain people. So you have to let me know if that's the case, because then I won't advertise that you are testing for me, if you don't want to test for more than a couple people or whatever. So, you'll be listed in my patterns. If I am releasing a book, you'll notice in my book, I always have my testers in there, or if someone actually made a sample for me, I will list their name in there too. So, because, making a pattern is something that it's my design, it's my concept. I write the pattern, I have it edited, so there's a team involved for me. There's a tech editor, and she usually does the, this charts and schematics for me too, because I know what I'm good at and what I'm not, and drawing is not my forte. I mean, if you saw some of my proposals that I've sent to magazines over the years, you would laugh, because my drawings, it's like stick figures. Then I have a photographer that I pay for, who does the photography for me. And then I have a graphic artist who does all my pattern and book layouts for me. I have 3 tech editors that I use regularly. I have one photographer right now, possibly two. I'm talking to someone right now so that I'll be able to have multiple. So when one's not able to do it, the other can. And then my graphics gal, she's really good. So she's ready to anytime I need her. So she's able to lay out my patterns. So my testers are part of my team. So I can't not recognize you in my books and patterns. So make sure you know that your name will be in there if you want it. And if you just want your first name and a last initial, I can do that too. So I just know that a lot of people do that. So that's it for testing. Okay, so this week, I told you last week that I had a surprise and I was excited about it. And I realized I was a week behind, a week ahead. It's next week. And I'll tell you at the end of this one, because I had to confirm it before I announced it, but it's next week. So, so this week, instead of doing what I thought I was going to do this week, I decided to throw a question out there for you. So, and this is because I'm at a point in my year that I do have a couple of super secret projects. One's almost done, and I have another one that I have to start. And then I'm going to be doing some stuff that you guys will be seeing. But I'm at the point in the year where I need some ideas about what to blog about. I have how-to blog posts through mid-July, but I need to start writing more so that at least I get them through like mid-fall. So I'm looking for what types of blog posts would you like to see me write and possibly include videos? And this can be how-tos, it can be hacks. I think I mentioned next week I'm doing a business blog. If there's something about the crochet business that you want to know about that I might not have on my list, just throw it out there. I have, pattern reading blog. I'm trying to remember now all my blog. Hang on one second here. Karen, can't spell. Can't even spell my own last name. It's not really terrible. Okay, so I have blog. The blogs I have is the news, and that is basically whatever news I have out there. And I have the freebies, which is the free pattern Fridays and stuff like that. Those will come up as they come up. But I have how-tos, I have project hacks, I have pattern reading, I have the business of crochet. I'm going to have favorite products and reviews coming up as well. So if you're interested in any of those topics, let me know what you'd like to see. Okay, so Dawn is commenting on the Yarn Pond. She knits and crochets and likes to test patterns with Yarn Pond. You can always find a pattern to test. I also like the milestone checklist to help keep you on track. That is the feature I like the best, is that because I've always had problems with testers who don't keep up with the milestones. And as much as I love some of my testers, they just don't, I need to know and to keep things on track. So Yarn Pond will do that. So there you go. So guys, anybody out there have something they'd like me to talk about? Oh, I forgot one thing that I am working on while I'm waiting for you guys to pose questions. I think I showed you guys this. This is the yarn from Lamb Shop Kits that I'm doing for Queen of Hearts, and I finally started it. Finally started the shawl with it. This is just the beginning. I am doing videos along the way, so if you haven't checked out my if you have the pattern for Queen of Hearts, there's a link in there to these what do you call it? The videos for Queen of Hearts. So there's 2 out there already. And if you are a member of Rumble, you can also see those as well. Those are 2 of the posts, the videos I put out there. I haven't put them on YouTube yet. Well, one of them I think is on YouTube. The other is not, because I am going to do that today. So anyway, so I wanted to show you guys that as well. And this is Madeline Tosh sock, and it's very soft. It's softer than I thought it would be. In this hank, it wasn't as soft as it is once you start working on it. So If that's another yarn out there that if you haven't tried it, definitely try it. It's really soft. And don't forget too, if you buy the kit from Lamb Shop Knits, and I don't have her link right now, if you use my last name as a coupon code, Whooley, you'll get 10% off the kit. So, and I have another kit coming out with her probably in July. So just so you guys know. Yes, Linda, you can get Queen of Hearts okay, I'm going to put her website in the chat, lambshopkits.com. Queen of Hearts code is, okay, I'll put that up. It's Whooley. If you need the coupon code, it's Whooley. So you'll get 10% off the kit. The pattern itself, you can buy it from my shop. If you don't want to buy the whole kit, you can go to my website at KarenWhooley.com, and you can, I'm going to put that up here. You can go to my patterns, and it's under shawls and wraps, and then just search for, or you can just go to the search bar and put in Queen of Hearts, and you can find the pattern itself. The pattern is not on sale right now, but the kits you can get 10% off if you're interested in that. So there you go. Oops, let me see. Linda said she brought a kit. I saw it actually because she posts on her social media the names of people who buy her kits. And if she can tag them, she does. So I did see you, I think on Facebook, that you had ordered a kit from her. So that's awesome. To be honest, I still have issues with crocheting cables. I always end up doing them 3 to 4 times before it comes out right. So Laura, is that something you'd like to see me do? I'm actually was going to be offering a class on cables this summer. I think I mentioned last week, I'm waiting for the 26th of this month. 26th is when I have my checkup for my bladder cancer, and that'll tell me what my schedule will be like. So I need to be able to schedule classes around any treatments I have. So I can't put that on the schedule quite yet. So just so you know, but I am glad to do an article on that too, if you're interested. So I'm writing these down. So cables would be one. Okay, let's see. I did a blog about stereotypes about knitters and crocheters that drive us nuts. That's an interesting topic. Give me an idea, Ida, of what exactly you mean by that drive us nuts. Like, is it more like the crocheters are the stepsisters of knitters, or is it other kinds of things? Give me an idea what you're talking about. So. Put that down though. Can't spell today. I'm telling you guys, I need more coffee. It's been one of those, I'm having a week. Remind me later to tell you about my poor little kitty. Stereotypes, knit and crow that dry us. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. I'll wait for Ida to give me a little idea of what she's talking about. Laura says, I will always love to see help with cables. I love them, but I am all thumbs. Hopefully you know. Me too, with the update. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to end up with some sort of treatments after this update, whether it's just maintenance treatments or if it's more of a more aggressive treatment. So it's just a matter of trying to figure that out. But yes, okay. So any kind of help with cables. Okay. Because I have a class on cables that I'm trying to figure out how to make it a Zoom class, but it's basically learning cables. And while you're learning how to work with cables, we're making fingerless mets. And I'm trying to figure out how to break it down into smaller chunks. So, be looking for that for sure. But I can also do a blog post on cables. That's actually not a bad idea, just to give some tips and tricks about cables. Brad's mom says, I'm thinking of taking the second class on foundation stitch. I've done them before, so I think I'm proficient enough in the basics. At least I hope so. Most people have done, at least once in their life, or at least attempted once in their life, the basic foundation stitches, the foundation single and double and triple and half doubles. Most people know those. I use them a lot in my patterns. So you might, let's see, let me hide that and put the question back up here. Okay. You might not need that class if you've been doing them. And I'm not, if I do this, when you take the Foundations 102 or Laying the Groundwork 102, which is the fun foundations, I'm not going to be going over how to do just the basics. I mean, we use some of the basics in the fun foundations. It's going to be more advanced. So be sure when you are looking at those that you feel like you're comfortable enough before you go to the fun foundations, just so you guys know. Okay, so Ida says, stereotype, like you have to be old. Oh, yes, old or only granny. Yeah, that stuff, handmade. Okay, now I see where you're going with this. Cool. Okay. That one I'm going to have to do. I have some really good thinking about that because there's a lot of those kind of things out there. So that I might even ask other designers and other crocheters out there to weigh in on some of these topics, because you're right. We need a good article out there about why these how to debunk all these stereotypes, I guess, is really what we need to do, is debunk it all. Yes. And, it's hard right now too with the granny squares. I don't know. This is something that I don't mind granny squares. I love them. I use them. But it seems like everything's a square right now, or everything's a mandala right now, circle or a hexagon or something. Lots of Afghans, lots of pillows, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. But there's more to crochet than that. And that's kind of been my pet peeve in social media right now, is that everybody is looking for a quick one. So, okay, so Brasman, I have a friend who said that knit and crochet has as much interest for her as watching paint dry. I quit making things for her family. Out of 3 baby blankets, only 1 thank you note. Yeah. And that's true. That's another, let me just talk about ungrateful. Maybe with that article would be something about the time we put into making one of these. I have to tell you a story on this though. Years ago, when I was working for my local yarn shop over on the west side, that shop got a call from a teenage boy, 18-year-old actually, who was working on his senior project and needed a mentor to teach him how to crochet certain things. He was crocheting single crochet hats, I think double crochet hats too, but he wanted to learn more about crochet and he wanted to use it for a senior project. So I agreed to mentor him, and I spent a whole semester with him, taught him Tunisian, I think I told you guys this, Tunisian and entrelac and all this stuff. Well, he got an A on his project. It was a great senior project. He made a sweatshirt with a hood and had entrelac pockets and showed him how to sew in a zipper. It was beautiful. But on Saturday morning, I got this text that said, "Hey, is this still Karen Whooley's phone?" And of course, and I have him still in my phone. So I said, "Yes, Taylor, it's Karen. How are you?" And he told me he got married and has a newborn baby. And so he sent me pictures of the baby. So I told him I was going to make something for her. And he was like so ecstatic that I was going to make something for the baby. So appreciation is huge when it comes to projects. And I know that I'm speaking to the choir here, that if someone really doesn't appreciate something, you don't necessarily make them for that family anymore. And I have family members like that as well. So yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, one blanket was thrown on the sofa for her daughter's dogs. Oh, that's so sad. I am so sorry to hear that. You could have a live where we bring our stereotypes that we have heard. We could do that. That would be, let's debunk those online, maybe a live. That would be awesome, guys. Actually, you know what I might do is I might, in one of my newsletters, have you guys, or even if outside of my newsletter, if you guys, since you guys are listening right now or watching after the fact, if you want to go to my website, use my contact form and send me some of the stereotypes we'd like to debunk, that would be awesome for a live, and would also be awesome for a blog post. I could maybe combine the two together. So if you wouldn't mind sending me some of your most crazy making stereotypes. I've written down some of them, but if you have any more, definitely send those to me. Let's see, Dawn says, I was crocheting at work on break one day, and one of the guys was like, why are you doing that old lady thing? Oh my gosh. I've heard that so many times. When I was in high school, I used to crochet at our lunch breaks, and my friends would all tell me that I'd be a great grandmother someday. And and other people too. It wasn't just my friends, it was people walking by, but it didn't stop me for obviously. But now a lot of those people are asking me to make them things for their kids or their grandkids or whatever. So, it's a good, that's an awesome top. Yeah. Why are you doing that old lady thing? I am old, but I've knit and crocheted for years. Also have a cat. Whoever doesn't like it doesn't have to hang out with me. There you go. I love that attitude, Linda. And then, are they crochet worthy or knit worthy? Yes. Worthy. I'm going to put that down too. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else have any topics? I've heard, people want me to do some Tunisian videos, and I'm planning to do that as well. I'm planning also to do a class on the Tunisian entrelac. Again, a lot of these longer classes, I'm waiting until I know for sure what's going to be happening in my life. So, but that's another class I'm going to offer. How many of you would be interested if I took one of my stitch dictionaries? Like, I just ordered a brand new stitch dictionary that's coming out at the end of the month. I will show it to you when I get it here. But if I took like that stitch dictionary and did how to of some of the stitches in there, or take one of my Japanese stitch dictionaries and showed you how to do a stitch that's in there, that kind of thing. Are you interested in that? That kind of thing. Are you interested in, a couple of my how-tos that are going to be coming up in July are going to be on the basic foundation stitches. I really feel like, I can teach that class every once in a while, but I really feel like most people know how to do that or can look it up on the web, that kind of thing. So that's something I've been thinking about, is like throwing in maybe every couple of weeks a how to do a particular stitch. One of the things I hear a lot from people is that I have a way of teaching things, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I have a way of teaching things that breaks it down to understandable parts. So I'm thinking, with stitches, a lot of times we're looking at these stitch dictionaries, and it's like, especially the older ones. I have ones from my grandmother, or the ones that she bought me when I was learning to crochet. And I look at the verbiage in there, and it's so hard to understand. So I was thinking about doing things like that as well. So I'm going to put up a few more comments here. When I was in 5th grade, I sat next to a girl who crocheted a rosary case for me while I watched. During class, she was fast, and I was 10 years old. It's funny. Yeah, it's kind of cool when you see people who are doing stuff like that. Now, were you a crocheter back then, Linda, when you saw that? The stitch dictionary idea sounds great. Okay, cool. And the Buzzy Hooker, hi. No worries about being late. I'm glad you're here, and you can catch up with the replay later. But I'm so glad you were able to make it. Ida says a blog post on how to organize yarns and patterns. That's a good one. Now, okay, so on patterns, organizing patterns, are you thinking about digital patterns? Are you thinking about printed patterns? Are you thinking about both? Because you can't see it from here, but behind here, you can kind of see the white file thing I have right here. It's sitting on a gray filing cabinet. And in there, I have folders of all of my printed patterns, like all my leisure arts and my Annie's attics and patterns from my grandmother's. And I have them organized like that. So are you thinking like that kind of organization? Are you thinking about how to organize them on your computer, if you've got digital ones, or both? I'd like to know that. Because yarn, I can talk for days about organizing yarn. So maybe those would be two separate ones, because there's a lot of different things to do. But I can definitely talk about both of those and all of that. My aunt started teaching me a little before that, but it was that rosary case that made me realize you can make things. Yep, that's funny how little things like that will make you realize. Laura, I pulled out all my yarn from my numerous stash locations and was surprised by just how much I have. Now I have to figure out a system. Yes, there's that too. Figuring out a system for organizing yarn. I have these cubicles here, and just so you guys know, these four right, I should go this direction because I'm going opposite. These four right here are basically yarns that I'm either I have ideas for or want to get ideas for, and that's how I organize these. Over here this is literally, I'm gonna move this way. This is literally all Knitting Fever yarn. And they have sent me a box of stuff. I did an opening not that long ago. And so I have that there because these are all yarns I need to figure out what to do with. This is all leftovers from projects. So I'll be going through those really soon. And then down below here, I have a mixture of stuff. And I try to break them out by weight and color and kind of things like that. So I have one cubby down below that is just my spun yarn. I have another that's just cottons, stuff like that. So there's a couple things just so this is where I organize my yarn. So magazines, yes. I could talk about magazines for days too. Okay, so that gives me an idea. Hi, Linda. I'm so glad you popped in. Welcome to my live. I'm glad to see you here. Laura, every time I go to find some old yarn, instead of buying new yarn, I find more yarn in weird places. I think I'm ready to admit I have a problem. I think that's all of us. More yarn. And I do have a problem. Actually, I forgot to mention I do have some yarn over there, and over here. Over here's my super secret stuff that I don't want to make sure I don't show off. And then I have a bag from Michael's down there. I showed you guys last week of Red Heart that I still haven't gotten into my shelving yet. So there you go. Just for those of you who just popped in. We're talking about this question. What type of how-to blog posts would you like to see me write and possibly include video on? And we've had some really good ideas so far. So if you've got something, pipe up and let me know what it is. So let's see. And then Ida says, now I have digital patterns, but those older magazines. Yeah. Yeah. There's some magazines that over the years I realized that if I kept them, they weren't inspiring to me. So I did give those to like Goodwill or something I think I gave those to a senior center. I kept my favorites. I kept all of the magazines that I have been in with my own patterns, but I do have some favorites like Crochet with Heart. I don't know if anybody remembers that magazine. Those are my favorites, and what to do with those. There's There's a lot out there, a lot of magazines, and I'm learning now to just get digital ones, just so that because I could show you all my books right here, and that's not even all of them. So yeah, I'm trying to go digital, but yeah, we can definitely talk about that. Anybody else have any topics you'd like to see me talk about? I'm trying to think of some of the topics I have on my list right now. I know there's a lot of beginners out there who follow me, and I know most of you who are here are experienced crocheters, but there are a lot of beginners out there who may not be as vocal because they don't feel like they know enough. So I've been asked in surveys in the past to do a blog post on how to keep your sides straight. So that's one of the next ones I'm going to do. I'm actually thinking about creating a learn to crochet blog where I literally will start with the chain and then single crochet, slip stitches, half doubles, all that stuff. So with projects, in between, so that people can use what they're learning. And so I'm going to be doing that as well. But if you have anything else, let's see, I talked about how to do certain stitches. I talked about, I am going to be doing a lot of how to with old patterns. I think I told you guys that last week. The first one is that Michael's yarn right there, the Red Heart from Michael's, with the pattern called Shades of Pink and Blue. It's a baby Afghan that I've been wanting to remake anyway. So this is actually kind of cool. So I've been trying to scan some of my older patterns, but with my old computer died and the scanner doesn't work with my laptop. So there's that too, is scanning. And I do have a folder of printed patterns that I keep saying I need to scan as well. So there's another option with paper. If you're thinking beginner blog post, maybe do something about how to tell the difference between yarn weight and how each one works up. Ooh, okay. Okay, that's a good one. Yarn weight and working up. That's good. Okay. So that's cool. That's a good one, actually. I've always thought about doing getting lace and fingering and DK sport, because DK and sport are two that people kind of interchange and they really aren't the same. Aran and worsted are two that people interchange but really aren't the same, things like that. It would be nice to be able to talk about those kinds of things. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. And talking about like wraps per inch and that kind of thing too. And then also, one of the things that really irritates me, that's the only way I can say it, is it irritates me, is that people will say, this is fingering weight. Okay, so I order it or I buy it. And then when I start working with it, it's either thicker or thinner than what fingering weight is. So there's like the light fingering and the heavy fingering. And that's a hard thing. That's a really hard thing to figure out, because with a heavier fingering, I'll go up to a size F hook, sometimes a G. With regular fingering, usually my largest hook is an E. For me as a crocheter, I will go down as low as a 3.0 crochet hook, which actually what my super secret project's using fingering, but I'm actually using a 3.0 on it because it's a little finer than what I consider fingering weight. So yeah, that's a good topic. Things you were with when you first started crocheting. Yes, absolutely. And used to buy yarn at our dime store. It was a block and a half waist. It was mostly Red Heart. Love that section. The dime stores are long gone and I miss those days. Yes. And that's another topic. What about box store yarns versus hand dyeds and, or even the bigger, more luxury. I don't want to call them luxury yarns because they're really not luxury. the box store yarns versus the yarn shop yarns, things like that. So that would be another topic to talk about, what the differences are. Let's see. I love videos around Christmas time about favorite tools. Okay, favorite tools. Okay, and accessories. So do you guys prefer video? I mean, Ida's mentioning videos about this. So do you guys prefer video rather than the written word? Because I can do that too. I can do more video and then just put a synopsis underneath of the video, things like that too. So that's something I should throw out there. My ARC used to carry bags of yarn for a couple dollars per bag. It's decent stuff like Karen or baby yarn, but they don't do that anymore. Oh, I know. I just heard though that the dollar store is starting to carry yarn. The dollar store or the green and white one, whatever it is. I've heard that they are carrying yarn for $1, and it's pretty decent. I've also heard, I haven't experienced it yet, but I've heard that Big Lots, if you have a Big Lots near you, sometimes they have the mill ends, or they have, discontinued yarns that you can buy in their stores. So that's someplace else you guys can look for yarn. I used to think that gauge samples were useless. A video on why they're important and how to use them. Okay, gauge swatches. Okay, you guys are giving me lots of food for thought here. That's a good one. Like both videos are more realistic. I'm trying to do more video, and it's something I really want to do. So, you guys are really good about coming to my lives too. So let's do that. Okay, I'm going to go through those last few here. I really don't do gauge samples unless I'm doing a project. It has to be really precise. There you go. That's good. Dollar Tree, I didn't know that, but I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen it. I haven't gone to the Dollar Tree to check it out, but I've heard that they do. So Dollar Tree, that's it. Yes, the green and white one, Dollar Tree. I'm a visual hands-on learner, so you prefer visual, and I do too. And I know there's a lot of people who like the verbiage, and I am really bad at lighting with photos. That's why I like to do video, because I can light better with video, even though I'm still learning my room here, and I'm a little more faded than I want to be because of the light coming from my window. I find that I can light up a video so much better. Big Lots near me. Yep. So let me know if you ever see yarn. I'd love to hear about it, you guys. If you find yarn at Big Lots or even the Dollar Tree, you enjoy watching videos about yarn, crochet, knitting, etc., and craft while watching. Okay, good, awesome. Okay, so you guys have given me a bunch. If you want to give me more ideas on topics, please do so. Go to my website, KarenWhooley.com, and shoot me a note in the contact form. That's awesome. Before I go through my ending credits, I want to do one more thing. I'm going to talk about next week. Next week, I'm so excited. I have my first guest coming on to join me next week. And it's my good friend, Karen McKenna of iHook Design. She is, we call ourselves Karen Squared because we're both Karens. She's a really good friend of mine, but she's also an amazing designer. And I just want to, I brought her website. I'm going to share with you guys her website. This is iHook Design. This is Karen. And I thought I'd give you a little synopsis of her and who she is. She lives in Florida, and we met through the Crochet Guild of America. I can't even remember. She was taking classes from me that year. I guess it was the year we were in San Diego when we actually really met in person. Found out that she had moved to Florida from the state of Washington, less than like an hour from me, the year before or 2 years before. I can't remember. We'll probably talk about it when when we come. But she is one of my favorite designers out there. She has a totally different vibe than I do, but she is so much fun to get to know and so much fun to talk to. So I hope you guys will enjoy having Karen on the show next week. So that's Karen. I'm going to leave her website up there so you can check her out. I got a couple comments on that. My idea page is getting full, Ida. So yes. Yes, it's getting there. And that's why I have tons of DVDs and stuff that you can work. Okay, so that's what's happening next week. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my closing here for those of you who are watching. But you guys can go ahead and leave comments, and I'll check back before I finish. So thank you, everyone, for watching this video. Thank you for being here live, or if you're watching after the fact, make sure that you drop in and see me at KarenHooley.com. It's where you can learn more about me and find out all the things that go along with Karen Whooley Designs. While you're there, subscribe to my newsletter. That's the link right here down at the bottom. You'll get a free pattern right off the bat, and you get 25% off every new release of patterns and discounts on books and all sorts of other things. So make sure you check out my newsletter as well. If you're not watching on YouTube, but you are a new YouTube person, you can go to my YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe so you know the next time I go live. And if you're not watching on Facebook, that's my Facebook page. So you can go subscribe there, or like my page and subscribe as the notifications come up about my lives coming up, so that you know when I go live on Facebook. I'm most active on Instagram, so you can follow me there at Karen Whooley, no spaces between my name. You can also watch this on Rumble. If you're not already watching this on Rumble, Rumble is another video platform, and after my lives, I always upload the video to Rumble, so you can go to my Rumble channel. This is my Rumble channel, and if you are not a member of Rumble and would like to be, I have an affiliate link for you. It is free for you to join. But if you use my affiliate link, I get a little bit of a kickback. And so that's scrolling right now at the bottom of the screen. And that just helps keep my business running. So I'm going to go to the comment section here really quick. And it's just, okay, so here we go. So Ida says, bile, spread kindness. Yes. And Laura says, yay for Rumble. Yeah, I like Rumble. For those of you who don't know Rumble, Rumble is actually becoming one of my bigger followings right now. So make sure you check it out. It's getting close to what my YouTube subscribers are. So make sure you check it out. And anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for joining me live, those of you who have joined me live. If you're watching after the fact, I appreciate you too. And make sure you leave me comments at the bottom of the screen. Both YouTube and Rumble and Facebook all have a comment section. I have a place where you can comment. And so if you have ideas there too, you can go ahead and leave me comments on those screens. I also upload these videos to my blog, so you can always use the comment form at the bottom of my blog post with these lives to give me feedback as well. So I really love hearing from you guys. So make sure you do interact with me on any of those social media that I've mentioned, or on my blog, excuse me. But anyway, guys, it's time for me to go. It's a little after 10. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And I love these visits too, Linda. It's so much fun to be able to talk to you guys live. I wish you were in the same room with me some days. But I will see you guys all next week. Next week, again, we're going to have Karen McKenna joining me. So hopefully you will check out her website before then and have some questions for her, because we'll be doing a little bit of a Q&A in there as well. So talk to you guys soon. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week.